Hey guys, welcome to Market Correction Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com for August 21st, 2007. First with announcements, guys. We continue to have a great chat room going on, the Intra Day Stock Chat, not only for day traders where we called out a couple good trades today in the morning, even though this afternoon was a little slow, but also for people just wanting to learn about technical analysis level 2 and all the fun things that come along with it, market psychology, human psychology, and so forth. For a $199.95, it's obviously the best product out there on the market, I think, because you're getting basically a month-long seminar with real traders and real stock players here. All right, phenomenal product, great chat room, great people in the chat room as well, and we continue to grow that wonderfully. We also have the swing trade alerts, which we've been right on lately, knocking them out of the park as far as I'm concerned. Sign up now, $99.95 for the whole month. It's just a phenomenal deal. Can't go wrong. All right, folks, let's get right into it here. What do we have going on? Well, we had a lackluster day again, and what does that mean? It means that volume was on the light side, just like yesterday. And yesterday, if you guys remember last Friday, I said, guys, be aware here. We're going to trend sideways to up until we have the next leg down, which could, maybe, guys, and listen to this, we might not get that for a week or so plus. You know, it might not come till this later, at the very end of this month or early in September. All right? And what we're going to see here is we saw very light volume again on this S&P contract, futures contract. 1.5 million about. That's what we did yesterday, and that's as opposed to 4 to 5 million contracts last Thursday and Friday. So again, guys, keep in mind, extremely light trading. Really, there's not a lot to talk about today. We continue to think that we're going to kind of trend sideways to up. We'll have a couple small down days, couple small up days, couple sideways trend. Generally, trend up. I think on the Nasdaq, you're gonna trade up to possibly the 20 moving average. But right now, let's look first at the ES contract here. This is the S&P intraday chart, and you can see it was a little whippy in the beginning of the day, but really, even though it looks whippier, it was not that whippy. All right? And what do I mean by that? Well, we saw last week, Thursday and Friday, moves up and down on the ES of 20 points, 30 points. Today, the moves were up and down 5 points, guys. You know, that's very minuscule. You saw the Nasdaq staying into a general range of 5 to 10 points all day. You know, we dipped negative for like a couple minutes, but for the most part, the Nasdaq stayed up early in the day and then got up a little more later in the day, and that's generally what we saw. You can see early in the day we pushed up higher here. We sold off. We made a little W pattern, and again, we can put these patterns out for everyone to see. But overall, there was not much going on here. All right, you see the W pattern here, a little bit of a W pattern here, and then a break up, forming the W. You see a little push up here and then a breakdown. But look at this. Here's the 200 moving average. For the most part, all afternoon, we stayed above that. We did have a breakdown pattern here, and I want to just point that out to you guys, is that this is the pattern we had pretty much all day into the close. This is where we closed, all right? So really, the market ends right here. You can't take after-hours trading into account because the market just closes there. But what you saw here is we could not get below this line, all right? This was all day. This was our trend line. If we had broken right here, and note this push down right here. If we had taken out this low and closed down here, it would have been a breakdown and we would have had a hard push down. But we didn't do that. In light volume trading, and this is so key, guys, remember this. In light volume trading, the big boys are not going to let the market just drop like a rock. They're trying to support this. We had Bernanke having a meeting. We had Paulson on TV live today. Henry Paulson. We had Bernanke in that meeting. And keep that in mind, guys. It's so rare that they'll let the market fall on a day like that, all right? It does not look good when Bernanke goes into a meeting and the market drops 500 points. Or it doesn't look like good when Paulson gets on TV and the market drops 500 points. So having said that, folks, keep that in mind. You always want to realize what's going on around you so you can look for the right moves in the market. All right? And unless we broke this technical line right here intraday, and you can see we hit it once here, twice, almost 3 times there. We came back down again, tried it again. We could not break. That signals that we're not going to do it the whole day. You got to respect that. And you just got to say, okay, look on the long side for things here, all right, folks? We saw RIM making another monster move after it split 3 for 1. I like that as a short over the next few days. Once it does this final push up, let it push up here, guys, and it'll come down finally and take, it'll be done with its stuff. All right, folks? Keep that in mind. Okay, let's also talk about the Nasdaq chart. Where do we see this market going? Well, again, here's the Nasdaq chart. You saw a little bit of a push up here, a little fall down, possible little head and shoulders formation here, but that's all we got there on the downside. Nothing really going on there. Again, it stayed right above this moving average. Look at this moving average here, guys. This is the 50 moving average. It could not get below the 50 moving average. That worked as a great support today. And overall, what are we going to look for in the next few days? Well, I think we're going to continue to trade sideways to positive. There are going to be a couple days where we're going to be negative a little bit, but I don't foresee the huge drop that we're looking for until the NASDAQ at least trades up to this point. That's the 20 moving average. It's got to meet that, and that's at about 25.44.45. All right, so you might see a break about 25.50 or so, and once we break that, then you can look for possibly picking up some short positions. Now, what do I suggest? Well, you always have the ETFs. You can go with double short ETFs, but what I always suggest is err on the side of caution here, guys. If you're going to look to do something like that, then buy half your total wanted position here, and then in case we go up here, you can always re-enter the rest of it and get your full position. Never we don't like to average up on a short trade or down on a short trade, all right? On a long trade, all right? You never want to average down on a losing trade, and you never want to average up on a short trade on the downside. And the reason being is that if you're out of the money already, that's admitting. If you have to average down, that's admitting that you were wrong. And if you're admitting you're wrong, then just get out of the trade because you were wrong. So the key here is, guys, if you want to do it and you want to dip your toe in, do it with a partial position. Let's say I want 1,000 shares of XYZ. Well, at the price I think might be the first place, I'll buy 500. And then if it does happen to push up a little more, I can enter my rest of my price and then get it a good price entry. This way I'm not overexposing myself with too much money, which is where people get in trouble. Alright, folks, that's the way you really want to handle it. And again, there's not much else to say, folks. Look for the NASDAQ to trade up here, the SPY the same way. We're going to trade a little higher. But overall, we are going to look for a fall, but it might not happen for a week or so. So you got to bear with it and go with the trend right now. The near-term trend is a slight push up, and until we come down hard and take out that low from last Thursday, you got to err on the side of the upside. Now, what I do want to say is InTheMoneyStocks.com continues to call all these moves every day to a T. To a T. And I mean, we've called pretty much every day what the market's going to do. It's done for the past month now. You know, from the big falls in the market all the way at the beginning back on July 20th, which is when our first big call was made on a correction, which we had here, and we're going to continue to see, to the bounces. We made this call. We said this was going to bounce here. We said this was going to break down to March lows, where it did, and then we were going to trade up to flat for the next few while, and that's what we're seeing right here. Then next, we will have a move down. Once we take out this low, guys, we're going down much, much further. But we'll update you guys as we see fit. All right, folks? Have a wonderful evening. Again, not much to say. Join the Intra Day Stock Chat on InTheMoneyStocks.com. There's swing trade alerts, options alerts, all phenomenal. Have a wonderful night, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.